If you can believe it, June is already upon us in 2025, but what PS5 games can you expect to release this month? Well, let's dive into 10 of the most exciting. Hello everyone, it's Aidan from Push Square here, and before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel if you're in the market for more PlayStation video content just like this. Right, first up we have Mindseye, a third-person single-player action-adventure set in the near-future city of Red Rock. In it, you play as Jacob Diaz, a former elite soldier with the Mindseye neural implant, which is haunting him with the fragmented memories of some top-secret mission that supposedly changed his life. The world of Mindseye is one steeped in technology where AI, robots, and implants are all just normal stuff. Kinda like today then, I suppose. This has been developed by Build a Rocket Boy, a new studio from former GTA boss Leslie Benzies, and is being touted as the start of an ever-evolving universe with a keen focus on a cinematic aesthetic. I can't say that I've been all too convinced by what I've seen so far. I am keen to see how it plays out though. This is a fairly contained story experience, supposedly taking anywhere around 15 hours to complete, which is music to my ears as long as it gets its narrative hooks in me. Mindseye is coming to PS5 on June 10th, and I guess I should mention here that the dates here are subject to change. The Alters is a unique sort of survival game. Crash landing on a hostile planet, the sole survivor tries to create their own crew from clones, with each alternate shaped by crucial decisions from the protagonist's past. You're going to be crafting items and expanding your base with just 3 days before the sun rises and you're all burnt to a crisp. Not only will you be managing the repairs of your base to escape, but you must also manage the emotions and conditions of your alters as they starve, become frustrated with the life you've thrust upon them, or are haunted by the various aspects of your past. It's a really cool concept in my opinion, so I'd like to see how it manages that line of regular old survival stuff mixed in with the drama between the alters. If you fancy checking it out as well, then you can pick up the Alters on PS5 June 13th. A previous inclusion in my monthly videos only to be unceremoniously delayed, Date Everything is hoping to finally be in players' hands this month. To freshen your memory on this quirky little game, this is described as a sandbox dating simulator set within the comforts of your own home. But you aren't just dating normal people, no. A mysterious pair of date creators show up, which make your house come alive and, most importantly, dateable. With over 100 fully voice-acted dateable characters, you're going to be chatting up your Hoover, your piano, your bed, and with so many potential suitors, Date Everything supports branching narratives with at least 3 possible endings per dateable character. You can find out which household item you would date on June 17th. Return to the world of random with Lost in Random: The Eternal Die, a dark fantasy roguelike. With plenty of gameplay challenges to face, card-based abilities to accumulate, and the ability to shift the tide of battle with the roll of a dice, this is a tight-knit gameplay experience that wants you to risk it all. Eternal Die is a standalone story where you play as Queen Alexandra, the former ruler of Random, who is joined by her ever-faithful Die companion. It looks quite similar gameplay-wise to something like Hades, with 4 unique weapons to master across its 4 dynamic biomes. And of course, this is rocking a really cool art style with gothic landscapes. You can check out Lost in Random: The Eternal Die on PS5 June 17th. Tron Catalyst is an all-new story set within the Tron universe, developed by the people that brought you Tron Identity. It's an isometric action-adventure game where you'll ride your light cycle and toss your disc in combat, all whilst being chased down by a malevolent program by the name of Con. You play as Exo, a resilient program wielding a power known as the Glitch, where you can briefly rewind time. That'll sure come in handy when in combat, which looks quite tricky actually. You'll utilise dodges, rolls, switching to your light cycle and bouncing your light disc off of walls. It's all wrapped up in some lovely neon aesthetics as you would expect, and an immersive soundtrack from the composer of Tron Identity. You can pick up Tron Catalyst on PS5 June 17th. And June 17th doesn't get any quieter because we have also got FBC Firebreak, a very different kind of game from Remedy Entertainment, the team behind Control and the Alan Wake series. Firebreak is a first-person co-op shooter where squads will drop into the oldest house, the shifting paranormal oddity from 2019's Control. Unlike Remedy's previous work, this isn't a story adventure, although lore-wise it takes place after the events of Control, and your squads are basically trying to suppress the hiss. You'll wield all sorts of weapons like explosive gnomes and guns that are supercharged by teapots, while fighting off against waves of inventive enemies and bosses like a giant sticky note monster. Remedy doesn't want you to feel like you have to check in with this game every day, so it's going for a more chill vibe. This is totally my kind of thing, but it is a surprising choice from Remedy, so here's hoping that it captures that quirky magic that it's so good at. Oh, and I almost forgot, this game will also be available via PS Plus Extra on day one. A couple of days later, on June 19th, we have Rematch, a third-person football experience from the people that made Sifu. That might not initially sound fun to a lot of you, but the Sifu part of this equation is really what should reel you in. Slow Clap conjured up a fantastic feeling hand-to-hand combat experience with that game, and I'm actually really excited to see how that is applied to a football game, or a soccer for our American friends out there. It's a 5v5 PvP experience with no real leveling systems or upgrades, so all you have to help your game is your own skills and tactics. But it does have that arcade appeal with no fouls, no offsides, no pauses either. It's just non-stop action, with mechanics that are accessible, but they have a lot of depth too. It's got this reverse Rocket League vibe about it, where that was football with cars, now we have football with, just people again. Word of mouth from those that played the early betas was very, very positive, so I am really keen to check this one out with my mates. Also on June 19th, we've got Architect Life, a house design simulator, which is exactly what it sounds like. You're tasked with creating dream homes all the way from the 3D plan modelling through to the on-site decision making. In the career mode, you're in charge of an architectural firm and must manage the contemporary home design projects, meaning you have to match up designs to client specifications, deal with the surrounding terrain accordingly, pick the right subcontractors for the job, and supervise the construction. As you learn, you'll expand your tools with new materials, techniques, and more. But of course, you can also just make your own home in a free mode. These are the kind of games that I've never really played but love watching, like hour-long transformation videos of people just fixing up their homes. So maybe it's about time that I check one out, especially since you can also switch to first person to explore your newly designed homes. On June 26, we have System Shock 2, the 25th anniversary remaster, which is dropping on both PS4 and 5. Coming from the folks at Night Dive Studios, this is a graphically vamped up remaster of the immersive sim classic from 1999. The original game's remaster came out like last year or so for those looking to get the full story experience, the full System Shock experience, you can check that one out before this one. What was quite striking about the last remaster, and looks to be the case again here, is that it isn't changing anything drastic about the game. Really, these are authentic re-releases that sharpen the visuals and modernize gameplay where applicable, but don't really change anything about the overall design of the game, whether we're talking the levels themselves or the visuals. And in that, these are very old school feeling experiences. Maybe System Shock 2 25th anniversary remaster is a nice nostalgia trip for you, or maybe it's a chance to try out one of the greats you've heard so much about over the years. Saving the best for last, depending on who you ask I guess, we have Death Stranding 2 on the beach, making its way exclusively to PS5 on June 26. This is the ambitious sequel to Hideo Kojima's wildly original 2019 game, where in an odd post-apocalyptic world, a souped-up delivery man must connect the nation. This time round, we're sticking with Sam Porter Bridges, brought to life by The Walking Dead's Norman Reedus, but we're now traversing the rugged beauty of both Mexico and Australia. This is shaping up to be a big old adventure, with the 30 hours that some press got to check out recently taking up just 40% of the game. The use of Guerrilla's Decima engine is going to be used to stunning effect here if the gameplay we've seen so far is to be believed, with a massive improvement to cinematics and the sheer vastness of its landscapes. And with a big focus on expanding out gameplay options when making your deliveries, Death Stranding 2 is aiming to nail that bigger and better mantra. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach lands on PS5 June 26. Thank you everyone for checking out the video. Let me know which one you're most looking forward to down in the comments below. A few in there for me, but of course Death Stranding is the biggie. Remember as well that these dates are subject to change. Hopefully they don't, they were correct as of time of recording. But anyway, thanks once more. If you enjoyed the video, why not subscribe? And until next time, I've been Aiden, and this has been Push Square.